Welcome to this tutorial. Today we are going to talk about MiCollab Client Softphone. As an endpoint device, for a contact center agent. For my CCX, use my contact center customer experience agent. So we got my contact center, which has agents, but the agents, they operate using a softphone, and that softphone is connected to MiCollab. So we are going to look at how to install MiCollab. We are going to look at how to install MiCollab Client Softphone, and we are also going to look at how to make the softphone to register. And we are also going to look at how the agent makes themselves available to the queue so that they can begin taking calls. And then we are also going to have a look at Ignite as a tool that the agent would use for various functions. We'll go through what the agent would use Ignite for. So to begin with, your administrator is going to deploy each agent as a user on MiCollab. Once the administrator has done that, the system is going to send a deployment email, or we can call it a welcome email, to the user. In our case, the user is the agent. So once the agent receives the email, there will be instructions in that email on what to do. One of the things in that email is the download. Is a download link for the MiCollab softphone application. And the other important thing that is in the email is the authentication key, or a QR code, which enables the softphone to register. With my MiVB, or at high level we can say to register with MiCollab. So let us look at having received an email. So when we look at here, this is the email that the agent would receive. It is going to say MiCollab client configuration for extension. In my case, the extension is 8118 for user. Mitel support. This will be the user. Maybe in your case, the user, your name might be John Doe. So this will be saying John Doe, or in your case, your extension number might be 2001, and then it will be saying MiCollab configuration extension number 2001 for user John Doe. And then most importantly is that this email is coming from no reply. It's coming from no reply at mitel.easydeploy.net. So sometimes this can go into your junk mail or your spam folder. So if you don't receive this email in your inbox, you have to check these folders, and once you see the email there, make sure I allow it to always come into your inbox the next time that your administrator sends you the email for different reasons, which we are not going to discuss here. So we are going to see that the email carries step number 1, download and installation of the client, and it is saying if you are going to install this on a mobile device, probably on your cell phone, gadget, if it's either if it's Android, you are going to go to your Google Play Store. You click here. Once you click here, it's going to take you to the Google Play Store, and it's going to show you the application to download. If you are using iOS, if you are using an iPhone, you will go into the App Store, and also it will then direct you to where you can find the application to download it. But if you are using a desktop, PC or a laptop or whatever device which is running Windows, or maybe it's a Mac PC, it's running the iOS for Apple, then you click here to download, or you click here. If it's Windows, you click here. So in my case, I'm demonstrating on a Windows PC, so I'll click here. Once I click here, it's going to open the web browser, and it's going to go to here, and it's going to start to download. It's going to download this application, which is called MiCollab _pc.msi. So I'll start the download. In my case, I've got internet download manager installed, so the internet download manager has captured the download, and it is the one which is now downloading it. If you don't have IDM installed on your device, it will directly download on the browser. So we'll let it download, and we'll let it finish. But in my case, because I already have it downloaded, I am going to cancel the download. So once the download is complete, I am going to navigate where the installation file is saved, and then I'm going to install it. Let's have a look at these slides. So these slides are showing that step number 1, if I'm on a Windows device, I'm going to click on download there. Then in this case, I'm not downloading with the Internet Download Manager. It's downloading just straight with the browser. It's downloading the application. Once the download is complete, I am going to go to where I saved my application, and I'm just going to double click on it to start the installation. So the installation will start, and then it's going to ask me to accept the license agreement. Then once I check there, and then I accept, and then I click on install. Then if I've got Outlook running on the PC, if my Outlook is open, it's going to prompt me to close Outlook. And then once I close Outlook, I'm going to click on OK, and then the installation starts progressing. The installation starts running. Then all we need to do is to wait for the installation to complete. So once the installation is completed, it's going to say finish. We are going to click on finish, and then it will say launch MiCollab now. We are going to tick here, and then we are going to click on finish. And once we click on finish, we are going to be greeted by this window which is saying enter authentication key. Enter authentication key. So this authentication key, we'll find it in the email that we received, that deployment email. So we are going to go back to the deployment email. So when we go back to the deployment email, just below where it says Windows, there is step activation and configuration, which is step number 2. And on step number 2, we are going to find where it says click here in blue. Click here. It says if you are reading this on the same device you have downloaded and installed the MiCollab application, or simply click here to start the provisioning. So we are just going to go and also click here. So let's go ahead and demonstrate that. So I am going to scroll down to step number 2, and then I'm going to go to where it is saying click here, and I'll click. Then it has popped up the browser. Then if it is your first time it's going to ask always open with MiCollab. Your browser is going to ask you, then you are going to tick always open with MiCollab. then you say okay. If it is for the first time, because I've already done that, it's not going to ask me for that information. It's just going to open the browser, and it has registered the soft phone. We know that the soft phone is registered because it is showing soft phone here and the extension number, which is the extension number that we saw in the email, and it is blue. And if we click on this small caret, this small arrow which is pointing upwards, if we click on it, it's going to show soft phone. It's going to show soft phone, and you can see it is blue, and it is like active. So it should always be like this. If you find that it is looking like this, it is saying disabled and grayed out like this, then your soft phone is not working. So you must make sure that you toggle this radio button to the right hand side so that it is blue and active. It goes through initializing, registering, and then it's happy. But sometimes things are not so rosy. Your soft phone might refuse to register, and it might start to show some messages. So when it is like this, this is a happy soft phone. It is registered, it is working fine. Sometimes it might say disabled and gray. This is not a good status, a good state. We want it to be this. Where it is saying disabled, we want it to be like this, not grayed out, but like this. Or sometimes it might say registration failed. When it says registration failed, the soft phone will not work, and we should contact the administrator to assist us getting the soft phone registered. Or sometimes your soft phone might say again, enter authentication key. So if it says enter authentication key again, you need to again talk to your administrator to receive the new email, because that email that we received, that email expires. So you can't use this email now and keep it to use it probably a week later or a month later. It would have expired. It's just going to tell you that the deployment is expired. So in this case, if your soft phone starts to show enter authentication key again, you need to get a new email from your administrator. So you have to contact your administrator and request your administrator to send you a new deployment email. So now our soft phone is up. Let me just maximize it so that we are just seeing the soft phone. So the soft phone has this part which is saying search and dial. You can actually type, press the keys on your laptop. You can probably 1, 2, 3, 4, and you press enter. It's going to dial, or any other number that you want to dial. Or you can go, this is the contacts, the contact list. I'm not going to open the contact list. And then most importantly is this part. If we click here, this is saying Mitel support in the office. So when we are in agent softphone, we might want to keep it on in the office status as status, but it's going to change to available. Okay, we'll talk more on that. So when you click here, where it's going to take you into the settings of the application. And also there is another settings here. These settings takes you to where you can configure audio settings. We are going to look into that. So let's start with these settings at the bottom here. So if you click these settings, it's going to, you are able to select which microphone you are going to use on this application. You are also going to choose which speakers you are going to use. You are also going to be able to set up your camera. So this settings is for input output devices. So when we go to this one now, here is going to show us softphone. The softphone is happy. As you can see, it's like this. It's just confirming what we see in the bottom right hand corner. And then we were interested in this part where it's saying settings. So I click on settings. So there is general, there is voicemail settings, there is call settings, there is manage status, there is calendar, there is schedules, there is about. So let's click into general. When we click on to general, it's going to have use teleworker on, chat, my number, personal contacts, and so forth. We can also go to call settings. Call settings is where we say call using, it's managed by status, or we can say call using softphone. Default calling mode audio, or we can change it to video, because this softphone also supports video if your device has a camera on it. So, but I'm going to leave it on audio. Playback ringtone, all devices. I'll just leave it on all devices. And then the next is we are going to go to manage status. So we're here. Now we are going to move on to manage status. So here we are defining what should happen if we tell the application that we are in a meeting. If we tell it that we are in a meeting, what must it do when we receive calls? We can say call using softphone, show my public outgoing number, send my calls to. You might decide to send them to, add a new number, or to voicemail if you are in a meeting. Or if you are in the office, you might want for it to behave differently. So this is where you do the settings. So let's look at the last thing on the settings. Like here we go to general and we scroll down. We scroll down. We might want to change our time format from 12 hours to 24 hours depending on your liking. And we want to auto start client with Windows. In my case it's disabled, but in your case you might want to, when you switch on your device, MiCollab also starts running. So you might want to toggle this to the left, to the right. You might want to toggle this to the right hand side so that it starts up with Windows. But in my case, because it's in a lab, it's a demonstration, I'll leave it disabled. And then we got this part which says sends diagnostics. You remember when it was saying registration failed, your administrator might ask you to send diagnostics. So if you come into here, you are going to write whatever is applicable, and then you are going to click on send. Once you type something in here, and you type something in here, this send button becomes live, becomes active, and then you can click on send, and your administrator will be able to see logs in MiCollab that can help them to troubleshoot and understand why your softphone is refusing to register. And finally, if we scroll down further, there is where we say factory reset. If we factory reset, it's going to go into the factory reset status or mode where it's going to say enter authentication key, as if we have just installed the application afresh, as if we have started the way we started when we were installing the softphone. So for this softphone, if it is a contact center, okay, let's close everything. Let's close the settings. So because this softphone belongs to an agent, to a contact center agent, when the softphone is up and registered like this, the agent has to present him or herself to the queue in order to receive calls, or tasks for that queue. And the agent can only do that by going on to Ignite. So they are going to open their web browser and they are going to navigate to Ignite. So Ignite is on the web browser. You are going to put then the FQDN of your MyCCX server, followed by a forward slash and the word Ignite. So if you are local on the LAN, you might probably put an IP address here of your MyCCX server, or you might put the FQDN if probably it's MyCCX .lab.com and /ignite. Take note that you can only use the FQDN when you've got SSL certificates installed on your enterprise server. Your enterprise server is your MyCCX server. So we are going to demonstrate how to get onto Ignite so that the agent can make themselves available to take calls on the queue. Then we are going to make a call into the queue, and then we are going to demonstrate the agent answering a call. So we are going to bring this video to an end by closing MiCollab. When we want to close MiCollab, we come to the taskbar. We go to MiCollab, we right click and we choose quit MiCollab. Then it is gone. Then join me in the next video where we shall demonstrate number 1, how to open MiCollab client after having closed it now. How to open or run it after having closed it now. And then number 2, how to connect to Ignite and make the softphone available to take calls from the queue. So that's it for now. Thank you for watching. Join me in the next video.